Did you know 95% of you have not subscribed? Make sure to do so. Let's get into it. The Dallas Stars versus the Minnesota Wild. This is such an interesting playoff series due to the history between these two cities. The Minnesota North Stars moved down to Dallas, and due to that, there is some animosity in the Minnesota fan base towards the Dallas Stars. Let's go into the Dallas Stars. Dallas has a prolific offense. Jason Robertson has really come into his own, having 109 points on the season. Joe Pavelski just doesn't age, 77 points in 82 games played, and roope hintz as well with 75 points in 73 games played. They also have very good depth scoring with Max Domi and Tyler Seguin. And Domi, while traded from Chicago to Dallas, I wasn't sure how well that would pan out, has really found a home on that second line. And one player I feel like I'd be remiss not to mention is Jamie Benn. He had 78 points in 82 games played. This was a bounce back season for him, and just looking at this lineup, they have a lot of scoring, and that is going to be very difficult to play against. And let's get into the defense. You got Ryan Sutter and Mikko Heiskanen, and they're a very good D pair. Heiskanen with 73 points on the season. Lindell, Hakanpää, Harley, and Miller are also quality defenders, and you have Niels Lundqvist as a healthy scratch who can also fill in and play if needed. Looking at this Dallas Stars team, I would have to say this is an above average D-core, some quality top end defenders. One of my only concerns would be a young guy like Harley. Will he be able to hold up in playoff hockey? And we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's get into the Stars goaltending. Jake Oettinger had a very good season, 62 games played, a 2.37 goal against average, a .919 save percentage. He has developed into a very fine number one goaltender, and the great thing about Oettinger, his best play does come in the playoffs. He has been fantastic in his young career, and I'm excited to see him turn up another level again this season. Well, I wouldn't say he's a top 5 goalie, he's just a hair underneath that, and I think eventually he'll be in that category. So let's talk about the Minnesota Wild. The Wild have the talent up front with Kaprizov, Hartman, and Zuccarello, a very competent first line. Even though Kaprizov missed some time, he had 75 points in 67 games played. That is an extremely good point production, and they have some solid depth scoring, with Matthew Boldy finishing off the season on a tear with 31 goals, 32 assists for 63 points. I would have to say this is probably about an above average forward group. Now let's get into the defense. Middleton, Spurgeon had pretty good seasons. Brodin, Dumba, Farber, Klingberg, who I'm not sure if Klingberg is going to be back in time for the postseason. They have okay options in Merrill, Addison, or Goligoski if they need to find a 6D man. This is where I think Minnesota's a little bit on the weaker side. I would say they just have a average D-core at best. While the top end is pretty good, I'm not so sold on Matt Dumba and their bottom pairing defensemen. So yeah, that's a little bit of a place of a worry for me. Let's get to the goaltending. I'm not sure where they're going to go. If they're just going to go on statistics alone, you would go with Gustavsson in 39 games played, a 2.10 goals against average, and .931 save percentage. But Fleury's played the majority of the games, the 2.85 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. It's not a bad thing to have two competent goalies, and maybe they're going to go with a tandem in the playoffs. Historically, that doesn't always work great, but it would be interesting to see. If it was me, I would just ride Gustavsson. He's been clearly the superior goalie this season. Yes, Fleury does have the track record of winning some cups. Gustavsson is younger and has been really good, so why not just hand him the reins? So if I was to have to pick, who would I think is going to win the series and how many games? I'm going to say the Dallas Stars in 6 games. I like Dallas's offense and defense. Well, I think Gustavsson statistically has had a better year than Oettinger. Oettinger's also proved to me time again that he does raise his level of play in the playoffs, but I'll give it to the Wild. I think there's only one area on the ice that the Wild are better than the Stars, and that's probably in goal. But that is just my opinion. Who do you think will win this series and how many games? If you have not already, please make sure to check out our Discord where we have a lot of hockey conversation. I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next one.
5-2, Stars win it.
Can't wait. Next time we get together, playoff hockey, Jonesy.